with him around 18 years of rich experience in the financial services industry and is exposed to asset classes like equity, commodity, currency, and other financial segments. He is conferred as India's best analyst. So this session you can all use to get some good recommendations of his studies and commodities and particularly and fundamental categories in 2014 by Sri Narendra Modi and in the year 2016 by Sri Piyush Goyal, the Union Minister Power, Coal, Mines and Renewable Energy at the Z Market Analyst Award. I think Mr. Jay, by adding the last paragraph is most exciting part where I think all my investors who are watching the program will keep something in mind to ask you. But anyways, we are not here to give any recommendations. I know this is a compliance part, everything. So now I just request you to come on to give your expert opinion on the how to prevent from frauds and scams in the securities market as of now. Thank you, Mr. Jay.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much, Raghavendra ji, for the warm introduction. I think this is a brilliant initiative being taken by ANMI, under the aegis of IOSCO and SEBI. See, the World Investor Week holds a great importance, especially in today's time when we are seeing financial markets, especially the stock markets, commodities booming all across, but nobody would have imagined gold trading at 1,20,000 per 10 grams and silver at close to 1,40,000. In equities market, we have seen, lifetime highs being made. US markets are at lifetime highs. Not only equities and commodities, when you speak about cryptos are also booming, right? So $1,20,000 for a crypto, which used to be around eight to $10,000, few years back. So there is a lot of euphoria all around. And in top of all the euphorias, what is also encouraging is that we are seeing the kind of participation coming from, the new generation who want to participate in capital markets. The data speaks about it. We are the industry is opening around 2 million, which is more than 20 lakh accounts per month is getting added. SIP number which came yesterday has breached 29,000 crores. So 29,000 crores of retail money is getting into the market through mutual fund SIPs. So we are at a sweet spot as a country where there is a lot of opportunities. There is a lot of enthusiasm, participation which is happening. But we also need to be cautious that whenever there is such kind of enthusiasm, you find all scamsters, fraudsters, they start finding the market very attractive. And they start, coming up with all those strategies, on how to allure an innocent person and cheat and defraud them and run away with their money. For market participants like us and being part of the capital market ecosystem, it becomes our responsibility to just expose through the event like what we are doing now and in this investor week, that the investor, the common man, should be aware that market is not about only making a dream return. It's also about protecting your assets. It's also about understanding or differentiating between what is real and what is not real. So based on the kind of experiences we have gathered in last few years of understanding the various types of scams, the frauds which are happening and prevalent, I would like to share my insights onto it and how we should avoid or prevent such scams happening. See, the scams are happening all around. We all are aware. It's happening on e-commerce. It's happening on gaming. But I will restrict my discussion only to financial markets here. So broadly, before I start, let me also give one important data point. Is in last 6 years, the number of demat accounts which have got opened, out of that, almost more than 40% of the demat accounts are of people who are less than 30 years of age. So it means that people who are new to markets, the youngsters, they have entered and they want to explore things. They want fast returns. behavior of investing and trading is very different than somebody who is 40-year-old, and there is a very high probability that they can fall prey to these kind of scam activities. The second important data is 1 out of 4 demat account which is getting opened are from women. Okay, so that's also a very encouraging sign that lot of female within our country are willing to participate in capital markets. But we also need to understand that in tier 2, tier 3 cities, the female may have lack of exposure about capital markets and awareness. I am not taking any gender biases here, but that's the fact. The kind of access to information to understand capital markets may be low for them. So they are also likely to fall prey to, this kind of scam related activities. So let me differentiate or segment, the audience or the target market, which the scamster or anybody who is planning to do a fraudulent activity may target. The first category could be the students and the housewives and people who are not exposed to any kind of financial investing. So when somebody wants to target these segment or this segment, the common things which we observe is they create fake apps, or they clone certain apps, or they create a profile of somebody who is well known in the market. So there could be possibility that my company's app can be cloned, Mr. Manoj's company's app can be cloned. They create a fake identity. They post fabricated or tempered SEBI certificates. Okay, they create a fake website just to make sure that it looks authentic. So my urge to whoever is listening now or will be listening to this, if this telecast later on YouTube, should be that you have to first visit the legitimate exchange websites and go and check with them whether any website of any particular broker or member exists with the given URL, or the mobile numbers or the email IDs are being given, are they valid or not? For someone who finds it difficult to find on the exchange website where it is available, or on SEBI's website where it is available, I would urge that you make a call to the customer support of the respective exchange and of SEBI and give the details which have been shared by you by the scamsters. सो ये करने से आपको रियल इंफॉर्मेशन मिलेगा कि इस तरह का वेबसाइट एग्जिस्ट करता है या नहीं, ये ईमेल आईडीज, व्हाट्सएप नंबर्स जो हैं वो एग्जिस्ट करते हैं कि नहीं. सेकेंड कैटेगरी है जिसमें फेक प्रोफाइल्स क्रिएट होते हैं ऑफ पीपल हु आर वेल नोन इन कैपिटल मार्केट्स. So I also face this kind of situation where there would be dozens of fake Telegram channels, WhatsApp channels, Facebook pages which have been created using my photograph. एंड दे इम्पर्सनेट एन इंडिविजुअल, और वो इस तरह क्लेम करते हैं कि दे आर द सेक्रेटरी और ईए ऑफ सम वेल नोन पर्सनालिटी इन कैपिटल मार्केट्स, एंड दे आर देयर टू गिव यू अ assured IPO allotment, 100% profit on your IPOs. They will give you certain tips which can double your money in few days. They will give you assured returns if you put. आप अगर उनको बोलते हैं कि मैं रिस्क एवर्स हूँ, मैं FD में पैसा रखता हूँ, they will allure you by saying कि आपको 2% फिक्स आएगा. तो again the right way would be to take the screenshot of it, okay, share it with on social media, and ask your friends or the person whose Facebook ID or WhatsApp ID is available, or check with again exchanges and SEBI that is it allowed that somebody offering a fixed return, somebody offering assured IPO allotment. तो आपका पहला क्वेश्चन होगा ना, दैट विल ओनली रेज अलार्म फॉर दिस स्कैमस्टर्स. हाउसवाइफ्स होते हैं, उनको लगता है इनके पास सेविंग्स पड़ा हुआ है, तो दे विल गिव यू अश्योर्ड रिटर्न की what we will do is we will allow you to invest only 9 months in a gold scheme and you will get 12 months ka gold. So for anybody who has not seen how the capital market works or commodity market works can fall prey to it. So for the first set of audience, my humble request would be, पहले exchange के website पे जाइए, उसका नंबर वेरीफाई कीजिए। वेबसाइट पे नहीं मिलता है तो कॉल द एक्सचेंज, कॉल सेबीज नंबर, कस्टमर सपोर्ट नंबर, गिव द डिटेल्स एंड गेट इट वेरीफाइड वेदर दे आर शोइंग व्हाट दे आर शोइंग इज राइट और नॉट। आप ब्रोकर के वेबसाइट पे जा सकते हैं, लेकिन वो एक ग्रे एरिया हो सकता है, क्योंकि वो आजकल क्लोनिंग ऐसा होता है कि यू विल स्टार्ट फीलिंग दैट द वेबसाइट इज द रियल वन। So, visiting regulators and exchange website or calling them would be an ideal way. अगर किसी पर्टिकुलर फाइनेंशियल एक्सपर्ट का ये चीज़ आता है, आपको ये समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि कोई भी एक फाइनेंशियल एक्सपर्ट जो सेबी रजिस्टर्ड है, उसके लिए ये इलीगल है किसी तरह का एश्योर्ड रिटर्न प्रॉमिस करना। सो आपको ये बात का ध्यान बहुत रखना है। I would jump to the second category. The second category could be people who are already into financial markets. ओके उनको समझ है, उनके पास डीमैट अकाउंट्स है, कहीं ना कहीं ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट्स है, लेकिन अगेन द ग्रीड एंड फियर कैचेस देम। वो आपको इस तरह के स्टॉक टिप्स भेजेंगे, जो पंप एंड डंप स्कीम होता है। आपको स्टॉक टिप्स भेजेंगे जिसपे वो इंश्योर करते हैं कि वो स्टॉक को 5-7 अपर सर्किट लग जाए, और वो आपको कहेंगे कि आप इसमें इन्वेस्ट कर दीजिए। वंस यू इन्वेस्ट इनटू दोज स्टॉक्स, say suppose stocks, they will show that it was 100 rupees and it has become 300 rupees in 2 months time, and they will ask you, they will give you promises that ये 500 होने वाला है, आप 300 रुपए में इन्वेस्ट कर दीजिए। The moment you start investing, the stock may rise further, another 10-20%, but then the game starts. When they feel that enough of retail participants have entered the stock, now it's time for them to liquidate. They will start dumping the stock, और उसका कभी नीचे का सर्किट खुलेगा ही नहीं। उनको तो एग्जिट मिल गया, लेकिन आपका कैपिटल हमेशा के लिए फंस गया। तो फॉर पीपल हु आर ऑलरेडी एक्सपोज टू कैपिटल मार्केट, जिनके पास डीमैट अकाउंट है, कभी इस तरह के झांसे में नहीं आइए। आपके पास बहुत सारे टूल्स अवेलेबल हैं कंपनी के फाइनेंशियल स्टडी करने के लिए। आप अपने ब्रोकर से सलाह लीजिए। अगर आपका ब्रोकर न्यू एज प्लेटफॉर्म है जो सलाह नहीं देता है, तो देर आर टूल्स अवेलेबल, जहाँ पे आप जाइए, कंपनी का डिटेल्स डालिए, उनका मार्केट कैप चेक कीजिए, प्रोमोटर होल्डिंग चेक कीजिए, कंपनी का कितना वॉल्यूम होता है कंपनी में। दीज आर द सम ऑफ द रेड रेड फ्लैग्स विच यू नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई। अगर स्टॉक में 500 शेयर का वॉल्यूम होता है, और लास्ट 2 वीक एवरेज का वॉल्यूम अगर 1000-2000 शेयर का है, और आप देख रहे हैं कि अचानक स्टॉक में 50,000 शेयर के ट्रेड होने लगे हैं, तो यू नीड टू बी वरीड। कंपनी के फाइनेंशियल्स में कुछ चेंजेस नहीं आए हैं। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि हर कंपनी इस तरह का होता है, लेकिन जो कंपनी का प्रमोशन कोई एक ग्रुप कर रहा है वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट के साथ, आपको टेलीग्राम चैनल पे शॉर्ट रिटर्न का कमिटमेंट दे रहा है, तो दैट्स द टाइम यू शुड बी रियली अवेयर। थर्ड कैटेगरी आता है जो हम लोगों ने देखा है, पीपल हु हैव स्पेंट देयर कैरियर वर्किंग एज प्रोफेशनल्स, होल्डिंग वेरी हाई पोजीशंस इन PSUs, in reputed companies. Now what has happened is, these people, when they were working, they were focusing on their respective professions. They were not aware of what's happening in capital markets, what's happening with the new financial assets being introduced. So they are very new to terms like कि crypto क्या होता है, bitcoin क्या होता है। They always apply for IPOs, but they have a problem that कि IPO का भी allotment होता नहीं है। Okay, so these people who have got sizable corpus because they have retired are the big target for scamsters. So how they impersonate is, they try to act very professional. They will come to you. They will tell you कि you have certain amount to invest. We have certain schemes where we guarantee your capital. Okay, there will be certain amount. They show a lot of presentations about some structured product happening. When you ask for the registration, their authenticity, they will produce fake SEBI registration websites. Sorry, SEBI certificate. They run under different names like PMS advisors, consultants with some common name which is linked to some large brokerage houses, और वो आपसे पैसे ले लेते हैं। और वो ऐप बनाते हैं इतना सोफिस्टिकेटेड, जहाँ पे उस पे दिखाएंगे कि आपने अमाउंट इन्वेस्ट की, आपका जो अमाउंट है वो इन्वेस्ट हुआ है। They will show you what kind of returns you have earned. Now the trick comes when I can share a live case that I know someone who was at a very senior level with one of the largest companies. When he retired, he had invested a crore of rupees with such kind of fraudsters. His 1 crore in 6 months became 4 crores on the screen. On the app, they were showing that this is your profit. When he first started withdrawing, they allowed him to withdraw 1 lakh of rupees. So when he withdrew 1 lakh of rupees, he felt very confident that नहीं ये genuine app है, मैंने 1 लाख का request दिया और 1 लाख रुपए आ गया. After few days, when he started, thinking of getting his capital out, when he put a request of 1 crore of refund, the money did not come. And all the numbers which were being given to him, all numbers were switched off. The WhatsApp group, there was nobody replying to him. And then when he went and lodged a complaint, he could just figure out after few days that his entire capital is gone. The amount of profit which was being shown on the screen, those were all fake. So it was a very sad story, right? It's a very sad fact. It's not a story, but it's a fact that somebody who has put his hard-earned capital, working lifelong, in certain kind of scheme like this, ended up, losing his entire life savings. So for it's very important that we understand, and through this forum, I would really request that please, always before committing some amount or before paying, any kind of money to these scamsters, please get your facts verified from wherever possible. Unless you are able to do it, आप उन्हें पैसे मत दीजिए. बहुत प्रेशर टैक्टिक्स करेंगे. देर यू मे हियर थिंक यू हैव लॉस्ट द अपॉर्चुनिटी, ये स्कीम क्लोज हो चुका है, बट दीज आर ऑल प्रेशर टैक्टिक्स. यू रियली नीड टू अवॉइड देम. So, as a regulator, as an exchange, there are a lot of initiatives been taken. अब toll free number का आया है. Again, the SMS should come from a designated, identifiable numbers. But that's again, is something which proactively our regulator is doing. But हमें भी सतर्क रहने की जरूरत है. So that is the only message which I would like to pass on through this forum. Is anybody who promises you something, take it with a pinch of salt, क्योंकि मार्केट में पैसा बनाना आसान नहीं होता है. आज हम मार्केट के यूफोरिक फेज में हैं. आगे भी मार्केट अच्छा रहना चाहिए, इकोनॉमी अच्छा कर रही है, लेकिन उस इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ का एडवांटेज लेने के लिए हमें बहुत ज़रूरी है कि हम आज किसी झांसे में ना पड़े, किसी फ्रॉडस्टर के चक्कर में ना आए. अदरवाइज योर बिलीफ ऑन द कैपिटल मार्केट इकोसिस्टम विल डिग्रेड और आप फिर कभी रिटर्न होके मार्केट में नहीं आएंगे. With that, I would congratulate ANMI for taking such initiatives, and thank you for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to speak to the audience and share my views here. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Jai. But some of the facts what you brought out are so shocking. Like as an investor, when they are under influence of making money, they get into a trap of this kind of Ponzi schemes or the look-like websites and the phishing fake videos and even the YouTube influencers nowadays. The environment is full of buzz of making money rather than making people aware of where they should invest properly. This is the background what you brought is really alarming, and how we should come out of it. You brought out two three regulatory actions which they have recently taken. The bringing the awareness on verification on the website of exchange and also the SEBI website, the really what with whom they are dealing with investors, or really a genuine broker or not, or the money to whom they are giving is genuinely given to a real person. So here, what my doubt is that when, as an investor, I go on a website of exchange and verify that then securities is the registered broker and the number is also there, everything. And when I come to the website, it is also showing the same number of then securities and also the management team, also everything these look like. How to come out of this mesmerizing tricks of these scamsters is to, even today is becoming difficult for an innocent investor who at the age of 20, 21, 22 bracket is stepping in with hard earned money of, we connect here 9 out of 10 are losing. There's a no context in which we just wanted to. Do you have any suggestion for this type of innocent people? How to really approach the real people?
Yeah, that's a
Thank you.
great question, Raghavendra ji. See, the basic thing you need to look at is when you go on exchange website or when you call the exchange, you find a URL, the domain name. Say
True.
for us, it's dhan.co, but if a fraudster is using that, he may not use dhan.co. His email ID would come from dhan.in, trading
Oh,
dhan.co. So the website or the email domain is the first trigger point or the red flag which you need to identify.
okay.
Second is there are customer support numbers or the contact numbers which are given on exchange website. You need to call that number and
Okay.
the email ID which has been provided there. You need to write an email to that saying ki, I have received such and such scheme. Does your company does it? So
Okay.
you will get a confirmation from the company itself. आप उनके नंबर जो दिया हुआ है एक्सचेंज की वेबसाइट पे उसको फोन कीजिए एंड गेट इट वेरीफाइड. दैट्स द फर्स्ट लेवल चेक एटलीस्ट यू शुड डू व्हेन दे
Super.
से कि ओके हमारा धन के से आई एम टेकिंग धन एज एन एग्जांपल कि
Excellent.
पेमेंट से हम आपको ईमेल भेज देंगे. You will find the subject matter, the logos, everything to be perfect, but the
Yes.
catch would be the email domain name. सो फ्रॉम धन डॉट को की जगह वो हो सकता है कि पीएमएस धन और इन्वेस्ट इन
Yes.
धन डॉट को. सो दोज आर द एरियाज यू नीड टू लुक इनटू.
So what you are highlighting is the domain and
Yes,
verification of the same contact number as shown in the exchange website.
yes. Call
The,
that number
all
and
that number. Those are authentic
those are
when
authentic.
compared to what you are no visualize seeing in front of your website.
Yes, and also the email ID which is being given there. And
Okay.
it may happen that some of the brokers would take some time to reply. Then you would come under pressure by those scamsters कि अरे आज स्कीम बंद हो जाएगा आप कर दो.
Okay. Okay.
Have that patience. Unless you get a revert, please hold your breath. Just
Obviously, this is the example, which live example of one of the factual position you which narrated is really
yes,
shocking. If it shouldn't
yeah,
happen with anybody, but in case it
true.
happens, then it is shattering the entire life of the individual. Like the lifetime earnings have gone
Yeah,
for no reason. And here, there's a last question that you are deep into the research. You have no acclaimed two of the national level awards from the hands of the prime minister, and also this is the analysis how in the YouTube, how you compare yourself as a genuine recommendation is coming to the from the influencers. What is the guidance? What should be the filter point for an innocent investor who is just my intention is to first target the persons who are just stepping into the market with
yeah.
their tender mind. So what is the, as an analyst, you advise them what they should be careful?
See, I think the first thing you need to check is check for the SEBI registered, RIA or RIL license, whether the person is holding or not.
Okay.
Yeah. So if somebody is not SEBI registered, you should not seek his or her advice. Somebody can again create a fake certificate, but again, for you to verify is go on SEBI's website, check whether in the RIA and research analyst category, whether the person's name is present there or not. Okay, that's one. Second is you may find a lot of screenshots being shared with you.
True.
When
True.
you are a youngster, you feel that somebody sitting at far corner of a country, okay, is making crores of rupees. So why can't I? So they will share, some fake videos of somebody saying that, okay, I was making losses. When I joined this class, I am making
True.
lakhs
True.
of
True.
rupees now.
True.
So those things are not allowed in India. Nobody can give you any kind of assured returns. Nobody can promise you that once you join my class or my course, you will start making money. The first thing you need to check is ask about the credentials. आप सेबी registered हो कि नहीं है तो नंबर और डिटेल्स बताओ. Then go back, take a day's pause, go and check with the authenticity, and then only when you are assured, uh, uh, take the step. But always the red flag should be कि कोई committed return नहीं बोल सकता है
नहीं बोल सकते.
this market. So if somebody is saying you need to have that ki, hey, there could be something wrong, so I need to be aware of it.
Excellent, excellent. I think these are all the minimum basic tips. I think one should be aware, and not only aware, should implement without falling into the greed or the psychological influence of these influencers. And recently, even SEBI started taking actions against these no big cases. Yesterday, one DV Shekhar, Chief General Manager from SEBI, was in one of our programs.
Okay.
He brought to us the scams which were no targeted or the not targeted suffered. Brought to our notice of one influencer having 11 lakh subscribers. See, 11 lakh subscribers for a person who is just informing where they should invest and without any basis and no accountability, no responsibility.
Yeah.
So this is the environment where no all our youngsters should be, and the women segment whom you also brought highlight today, that
Yeah.
the India is growing and the growing segments equally are popularly growing. Youngsters, housewives, the professionals, doctors. So this class from your side is definitely going to be a learning and also good to implement. This we keep it in. I
Yeah.
think we can close this
Yeah.
here, and I wholeheartedly thank you, Jai, for with a short notice you accepted my request and came on our show, and it is all in the name of investor awareness, which is going to be surely useful to our viewers. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Jai. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thanks
It's
a lot.
my
Looking forward
pleasure.
for future meetings.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. Now you have another expert,
Yeah,
Manoj.
that's I was about to say. The analyst from analyst we are going to a expert on compliances. So this is a unique combination and very wonderful combination. Today we got the speakers before us. So before we push to other, this I thought we wish you to continue our show unless you are preoccupied with your program. So you can leave the program or because thanks even for
Thank you
allotting
so much.
time.
Thank you.
That,
Thank you.
thank you. Then our next speaker, who is Mr. Manoj Agarwal, who is by name himself, you can make a note of the excitement on the topic which he is going to bring to us. He is Mr. Manoj Agarwal, Group Chief Compliance Officer, Angel One, and he is well known compliance as the tagline. And he is a seasoned compliance and risk management professional with over 2 decades of experience in the financial services industry. He specializes in regulatory compliances, legal, audit, internal controls, and risk management, ensuring adherence to the highest governance and ethical standards. Before joining Angel One as Chief Group Compliance Officer, the Manoj was Chief Compliance Officer at Upstocks, overseeing compliance, legal, secretarial, internal audit functions. Prior to that, he spent 19 years at Kotak Securities and served as a senior EVP, Executive Vice President, leading compliance, internal audit, internal controls, and secretarial functions. He has also worked as HDFC Securities and Tata Consultancy Services, further strengthening his expertise in compliance and operations. I think, Manoj, I'm tired here. The way the compliance is for all your years, it is each drop is in your blood, I believe, the 31 years. And with his deep industry expertise, Manoj plays a pivotal role in reinforcing Angel One's commitment to compliance, integrity, and ethical governance. A stunning profile. I think it is our good luck that our investors today who are watching and going to watch tomorrow our videos are going to get the beautiful subject learning from your talk today. And with this, I think we are taking over on the analyst. Just now we heard. I think Manoj, thank you very much for being with us also on this. The speaker who spoke, Mr. Jay, on the kind of care what should take with respect to scams, what are happening. With your expertise in the area of compliance, I think you are the best person to further expose or enlighten our members, our investors who are watching our videos as to how to prevent, how to secure themselves from frauds and scams, which is very much prevalent nowadays because of the greedy or influencers influence whatever that is happening around us. Thank you, Manoj, for joining and spending your time for us. Please take over. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Soniji. I think for providing me opportunity to speak on this ASCO and SEBI Investors Week. I think this is a brilliant move taken by the SEBI at a time when one can see a lot of investors coming into the market. I think the previous session when I was hearing Mr. J, he mentioned that the number of participants which has increased in the market is very high. So if I have to give you some number about the people participating in the capital market 4 years back, the percentage of the population which was participating in the capital market was roughly less than 3%. Today, when we see in last 4 to 5 years, there have been immense increase in the percentage of the population that is participating in the capital market. The number stands as high as 8 to 9%. While this number is still lower than some of the developed countries, but still the number it's in itself has risen 3 to 4 times of the number 4 years what it was. So has this happened automatically? Has it happened because of some fluke? Answer is no. The increase in the number of the investors which are coming to the market technology has played a very, very pivotal role. So earlier were the days when to open an account, for example, it used to take 5 days, 6 days. Now in a fraction of second, the account can be opened. So it's such a easy things like there are Aadhaar based account opening, there are digital based account opening. So technology has played a pivotal role in ensuring that the investors come to the market seamlessly and can open an account in a fraction of second. Now, while this has been, of course, a very good point as far as the seamless or ease of doing business is concerned, but it has its own risk with respect to various kind of wrongdoings that is happening in the market. Now, whenever you start getting something easily or something very, very swiftly, there are other section of people which are also sitting on the side of the river, which are trying to grab this opportunity by some unscrupulous means or by way of something which is not right, not justified. So what I will do, I think for me to get into what is fraud and scams, everybody understand what is fraud and scams. So I will not, waste time of the audience in explaining them what is fraud and scams. But before I get into what is fraud and scam and how the people are being cheated, I will like to go through some of the numbers. I love numbers. Being a chartered accountant by qualification, I love numbers, Soniji. So what I will do, I will spend some of my slides giving some numbers which itself will show that how the technology, while it is a very good thing for us, but how it also played a pivotal role in cheating or the other people, not technology, other people use the technology to defraud the people, and fraud and scams becomes one of the tool by those people. So what are the common type of frauds and scams? If you will see why I'm telling this, because most of my slide which is there in the next slides will be covering about this type of frauds only. So broadly, the fraud, if you will see, are basically payment fraud, identity theft and phishing fraud, online fraud, digital fraud, cyber fraud, investment schemes fraud, which I think in the previous session also Jay was talking more and more about the investment schemes fraud. So we will learn more and more about this. But before we proceed, what is the common types of fraud and why this fraud happens? Let us see some of the real life cases which has happened in India at least. So there was a Rajasthan doctor who has lost 62 lakh rupees, okay, in the online stock trading scam with the promise of high return. Now, why this has happened? Now, is this happened only because of ignorance? The answer may be no. This is something called maybe out of greed and like in a way to make the quick money. Probably the doctor did not realize that the scamster which is sitting on the next side, he is trying to dupe him and trying to cheat him. So by way of this, he has lost 62 lakh rupees. These are Kerala residents through AI-based deepfake scam. Now, this is one of the scam which is coming up more and more. He has lost 40,000. There's a Mumbai woman who has lost 20 crore rupees in digital arrest scam. Now, this is one of the scam which I think most of you must be also hearing nowadays. There's something called digital scam. Now, digital arrest. So, for the benefit of all our audience, it is very important for me to tell all of you that there is nothing called digital arrest in the world. Okay. However, the scamster, when they come and present to you, or when they come in front of you, they show as if they are from some ED, they are from some XYZ department, enforcement department. And trust me, there is nothing called digital arrest. In case any one of you come across such kind of call that you are digitally arrested, I request you to please go and visit the respective site of EDs and register a complaint over there. There is nothing called digital arrest as such. So the Mumbai woman lost approximately 20 crore rupees. These are Thane investors again who has lost in the name of cryptocurrency some 48 lakh rupees. Again, this is again maybe result of the ignorance, greed, or whatever you can call. But again, he has lost the money. Again, the scamster lured him of the high returns. So there is nothing called high returns. In case any one of you comes and tells you that they are going to give you assured return, please be aware about that. You need to raise your antenna in a world where you don't know tomorrow in your kitchen what will be going to be a breakfast. How can somebody come and give you the assured return saying that they will give you 20%, 30% return? Okay, so you need to be very, very careful and take precaution when somebody is saying that they will give you a short return. So there's a Thane investors who has lost 48 lakhs in cryptocurrency. Again, the next incident, if you will see, again, this is identity theft basically. So, and WhatsApp call you have received saying that being a police officer. Here again, identity theft. An 80-year-old lady lost 57 lakh rupees through this call. Hyderabad doctor lost 3 crore in digital arrest by scamsters from the Gujarat. There are like that. There are multiple cases. If you will see, Delhi engineer lost 1.2 crore. Pune businessman lost 85 lakhs. Actor Arjun Kapoor, a person who is in the film industry, has also lost a good amount in the case of this and fall prey to the victim. He fell victim to the fraudster. Noida woman lost 51 lakh rupees in the downloading fake Amazon gift voucher app. You know, something again you will receive through a WhatsApp saying that click on this voucher, you will get XYZ amount. So now why these frauds and scams, they succeed basically. So basically, if you will see, they generally play with your human psychology. Now they will come and tell you, they will pretend as if it's very, very urgent and very, very urgent, or they will provide you some kind of assured return and they will make you believe that you are going to earn the return. So for example, they will say, okay, invest 1 lakh rupees, and in a fraction of second or maybe in a week's time, that 1 lakh rupees, they will show that it has become 5 lakh rupees. And when you will withdraw some amount, they will allow you to withdraw that amount. And later on a belief that you start believing that this is the right person or right app, and you will start investing more and more. So here the trust, urgency, fear, greed plays a very, very important role, which is one of the factor why these fraud and scamsters succeed basically. Weak controls, lack of awareness, digital adoptions, tech vulnerability, jurisdictional issues. So these are some of the things which are the reasons why fraud and scams just succeeds. Now let us look at the total loss that was happening, that has happened in 2023 in global, basically worldwide. So through these frauds and scams, there is 485 billion dollar amount has been lost in the by the frauds and scamsters. And if you divide this, 46% of the amount has been lost in the Asia Pacific region only. So this amount is very, very high. So the number itself suggests that we need to be careful when it comes about the frauds and scams. We need to think before investing, or since this is investors week, I will request all our investors, all our audience to ensure that if before they put even their single rupee, they need to ask a question to themselves: are this app right? Am I doing the right thing? The person who is giving me assured return, is he qualified to give the assured returns? Some of the basic questions you need to ask. Now, if I break up this loss into various category of the loss, you can see that the payment fraud basically is top highest. That is $386 billion has been payment fraud on account of credit card, check fraud, investment scams, identity theft is a $10 billion fraud across worldwide. So it's a very, very high numbers. What does this number suggest? This number suggests that while technology has, of course, made the life of the people easy, it has its own disadvantages if we are not careful about certain kind of controls or certain kind of precaution that if you don't take, then we will end up losing the money. Now let's come back to the India's economic impact of the frauds and scamster which has happened. So the number itself suggests that in India, if you compare with the GDP loss that India has got because of this scamster and fraud, this is a stunning number of 3.1% of the total GDP loss we have incurred during 2024, and 2025 the projected loss is 1.3%. While the number may suggest that we are on downward trend, this is half yearly figure. Okay, and because the GDP has increased, there is an impact of showing the percentage wise lower number. In absolute terms, if we see, maybe the number of the absolute amount of the fraud that can result in India will be very, very high in numbers. So we need to, again, this number suggests that we need to be careful before investing. Now, I have tried to break down these broad numbers into the kind of the fraud that has happened. Now, the cyber fraud itself, which has happened in India, is 22,846 crore rupees, which is nothing but, if I have, is $4 billion, if you will see that way. So, sorry, $3 billion approximately the loss amount is there. Only in cyber fraud. The total number of incidents which has been reported in 24 vis-a-vis 23 is 36 lakhs versus 24 lakhs. So they have been increased in the number of cyber fraud which has been happening. Now, I'm not getting into all kind of fraud, but some of the fraud which is important for us to understand, because cyber fraud is something which is related to digital, and we need to be careful in the world of digital era where we all are living and where we all are investing through digital. Digital enables us to invest in a super fast way. So we have to be mindful about the fact that the amount which is getting lost in the digital fraud, that is cyber fraud, it's a very high number. Stock trading fraud, 4,000 crore. Investment scams, 3,000 crore. Digital arrest scams, 1,600 crores. And the number of, if I go by further break the value, that is more than 1 lakh rupees. If you will see, the number of incidents more than 1 lakh rupees is 29,000 incidents are there, which are more than 1 lakh rupees have been reported. It may range from 1 lakh to 10 crore to 100 crore to 50 crore, whatever the amount may be. But the number of incidents are increasing day by day. Now, all these figures suggest that we have to be utmost careful when it comes to about investing into the market or investing anywhere. Now, since this is a investors week, it is also important for me to touch upon the major stock market fraud and scams in India and the worldwide. So basically, it can be seen there. I'm sure most of you know about Harshad Mehta scam in 1992, Ketan Parikh scam in 2001, Satyam Computer accounting fraud, which was there in 2009, Banif Madoff Ponzi scheme, where again people in US, it was one of the biggest fraud in US. Enroll scandal, again, this is accounting fraud which has happened. So the point what I'm trying to tell all of you as an audience, as an investor, is that there are fraud and scams which is happening in India and worldwide. What we need to be careful, and we need to keep our eyes and ear open to see the surroundings where we are and what is happening, and take utmost care in investing our hard-earned money. Now let us see what the SEBI has taken the actions on various lines, because SEBI has been playing a very, very pivotal role. It will be unfair on my part if I don't get into the details about what action as a regulator SEBI has taken, and how SEBI day and night are sweating around and trying to see that how can they protect the investors' money. Since I am into the compliance for last 20 years, I have very closely worked with SEBI, and what I can sense when I interact with the SEBI day and night thinks, the prime thinking what is the SEBI mind is how to protect the investors. Anytime when you go and interact with them, they first they talk about the investors, and then they talk about the business and compliances. But the first thing that is there in their mind is about how to ensure that investors' monies are protected. Thus, they are prevented from frauds and scams in the capital market, because the belief in the SEBI and belief with me also is that India is going to be the financial hub. It is there, but in the coming year, it is going to lead the world by an example. So, in that scenarios, it is very important that SEBI also plays a pivotal role, which they have been playing. And again, here the numbers suggest how serious SEBI is there when it comes about taking action on the fraudster and scamster. Let me touch upon the numbers, which has been, of course, the numbers are displayed on the screen. But if you will see since October 2024 till date, SEBI has actively and suo moto has removed 70,000 posts from the social media account which were fake or which were not genuine. 8,890 misleading social media content has been removed by SEBI from the social media since July 2024. Total penalties that has been levied on the various person is 813 crores. So basically, SEBI also, they are trying to ensure that the investors' monies are being protected. Some of the major cases and penalties are basically, if you'll see this, basically then Asmita Patel and Global School of Trading, if you'll see, SEBI has compounded 53 crore rupees and 104 crore they have disgorged order. In the sense, they have asked Asmita Patel and Global School of Trading to return the money to the extent of 104 crores to the investors. Now, what they were doing in the name of training, if there is a SEBI order on the site, if one wants to go through the SEBI order, they can go through that. Through this, basically through this order, they were Asmita Patel and Global School. What they were doing, basically in the name of training the audience, the investors were being asked to invest into various app or various stocks, various schemes, and ultimately people were losing money. And of course, so SEBI has taken a very strong note of the same and has passed an order against that. 11 influencers banned in 2024, including Ravindra Balu, Bharti, Nasruddin Ansari, again in the name of they were influencers, and what they were doing was not doing within the boundaries of the IA or RA, and hence the SEBI forced to take the action, and SEBI has taken the actions. YouTube influencers with 19 plus lakh subscriber. I think Jay was mentioning about this in his previous section also. Again, the SEBI has fined 9.5 crore to that extent. So there are various action that SEBI has taken, and as a regulatory measure, SEBI has also been prohibiting on using live stock prices to so that people use the live stock prices and start people giving view that it's very easy to make the money in the market. Now, one of the very important thing which SEBI has made, why it is important for me to speak on this many of you must be using the social media, like whether Insta or Facebook or let's say Twitter, XYZ, and a lot of you would have seen a lot of people giving the assured return, saying that it is very easy to make the money. I have made 15 lakh rupees, I have made 30 lakh rupees, I have made 25 lakh rupees. If you personally ask me, I have never seen any ad on the social media where I have come across any influencer or anybody who says that, who has claimed that he has lost the money in the market. So, and because they were publishing the numbers, what SEBI has done, a brilliant move that SEBI has done. So SEBI has, this is very important for all of you to know as the investors to go and check. SEBI has tied up with Meta and to ensure that anybody who is trying to publish any kind of advice on Meta platform, that has to be approved by the intermediaries. So just to give an example, if suppose if you are a fin influencer and wants to say and give any research recommendations, can you give? And says yes, you can give. But before doing that, if you want to display any ad on the Meta has provided a window wherein you have to go and capture the SEBI registration number. Once you do the SEBI registration number, the intermediaries they will get an OTP from the Meta, and once that OTP has been approved and validated, then only the ad will get published on the Meta. Now, this is one of the very, very good action that the SEBI has taken, wherein it will ensure that at least investors don't fall prey to the false promises, or if investors are seeing any kind of advice on the platform, that advice are coming from the right person and right section of people. While there is a long way to go, this has been implemented last 3 months. We need to see the results, but SEBI is consistently focusing on to ensure that how they can make a marketplace a safe place for the investor to invest the money. So these are some of the regulatory responses to fraud. Basically, SEBI has taken a lot of at a broker's level. So SEBI has implemented a lot of system controls, OTP mechanisms to ensure that if the customer comes and trade, they validate the accounts. They get into a lot of checks and balances have been there. SEBI's outreach and technology initiatives, if you will see educational campaigns and awareness, a lot of you must be seeing a lot of ad being done by the SEBI with respect to educations. SEBI consistently and continuously through exchanges, through depositories, through brokers, they ask us to also go in and spread the financial literacy with respect to the capital market. So this is educational campaign and awareness. Collaboration with agencies, that is what I have explained in my previous slide with respect to Meta also, and with respect to other government agencies also. SEBI are working day and night doing a lot of analytics, a lot of AI. SEBI has also implemented at their end to find out the kind of they are doing a lot of trading pattern analysis also to find out if market is somebody is trying to manipulate the market or no. So SEBI is full time. I mean, they are getting into this action as a measures to ensure that they find out much before some investor lose the money. They are also on the right way to get into that. Technology initiative, SEBI has taken a lot of recent policy changes, which I was talking in my previous slides. They've been taking now. So overall, if you will see, a lot of actions are there by the regulator to ensure that how the marketplace becomes the safe place for the investments. I know, Mr. Soni, that I have exceeded my time, but I'll just take not more than 2 minutes to say what are the emerging threats in the market. So emerging threats are nowadays, if you will see, all are talking about the AI. Everybody, whom you meet, they talk about the artificial intelligence. Now, while yes, it is very good, but one needs to be careful about AI powered fraud, because AI has got the capability of even mimicking your voice, mimicking your image, okay, mimicking your pattern, and whatever you want to get it done. 90%, 90 to 95% accuracy are there where one can do through AI. So, for example, you can receive some mail, you can receive some voice, you can receive some videos, which you may think that this is coming from the person whom you know, but we don't know actually that is right or wrong. So we have to be really, really very careful in nowadays. What are the protections? Stay skeptical, basically. So if you find some kind of liquidity buffer, ask yourself. If I don't know how many of you track the listed companies profitability or no. In the listed companies which are currently in the market, which are doing business, okay, it is very difficult for them to make the profit margin of 15 to 20%. And hence, suppose somebody comes and tells you that give 1 lakh rupees to me and I will give you 40% returns in 1 year time. Please be skeptical about that. Please doubt that in a world where it is difficult for the big companies to make 10 to 15% profit after putting a lot of efforts day and night, how someone can give you 30 to 40% return. So stay skeptical. One of the thing is stay skeptical. Just doubt what is this offer coming to you? Is it genuine, not genuine? Somebody comes to me and say, I'll give you 20% return. I will not agree to that. I will never put my money for somebody who says 20% return, because I know it's very difficult to make that assured return. Nobody can guarantee the return. So out of multiple things which I have displayed over here, one of the key things that how can we get protected, you need to stay skeptical about the kind of the offer that you people are getting. I think with this, I'll take a pause over here, and I would like to once again thank Mr. Soni and ANMI and SEBI to provide me an opportunity to speak on the compliance, which is very, very close to my heart. And as I said, I have spoken more on the numbers. So yeah, happy to take any questions, Soni ji.
Absolutely stunning presentation, Manoj. I think I should thank you, not only thank you, as amazing presentation with the facts loaded with so many figures, so many stories, how to go about it, how the investor should safeguard not only the tips what you given to prevent, but how not to become scapegoats to these influencers. And the figures are really stunning. Are these all the ones which you are definitely picked up from the
Yeah,
valid
so
websites?
these are all published figures. So
22,000 plus crores total cyber frauds loss in
In India.
2024, 1 year. And it is 36 lakh total incidents, 36 lakh total incidents. Total machinery, even if it is put on 1 day task, then they cannot even 365 days attend these 36 lakh incidents. Just in a absolutely stunning figures you brought. And this is the one I riser for any investor before they put their money into this type of stock market trading. I think all their imagination of making money will be just vanish. This and you went on explaining how the major stock market frauds. Harshad Mehta is the oldest. Perhaps SEBI has born out of the
Out of this
pursuant to the
Harshad Mehta,
instance of
1990.
Harshad
Yes.
Mehta. And today you brought even Satyam is a tip. But the kind of losses what today the newly entered entrants investors are facing is much bigger, much bigger. The digital fraud which you said, these are all definitely is going to help our investors. They are going to be surely skeptical when they, after hearing you, if they want to even venture to put 100 rupees SIP. I don't think SIP is having any problem. It is only directly when they are trying to try their luck in making money efforts. This is to be very careful. I think
Yes,
this is then about SEBI actions you narrated very elaborately. This disgorgement you brought out in case. You mean to say the disgorgement is really the SEBI has taken out the money from the fraudster, scamster, and is distributing the same to the investors? As how did
if
you
you,
throw light
yeah,
on this?
yes. So one of the SEBI order, if you will see, which are Asmita, that Patel training, if you will see, the SEBI order says that disgorgement of 106 crore rupees is mentioned in that order. So
Yes.
if you see, they have gone to the extent to say that you need to refund this money to the investors, to not to the investors, to all those person who has invested through that. So there's a
Oh,
detailed order on the SEBI website. You will go, and they have fined also for and this was the first of its kind cases in before 2 years which SEBI has started. So this is the first case where SEBI has gone beyond the broker and has taken the action on the person, because they were in the name of like whatever XYZ, they were conducting the classes and all these things. It's the fact.
oh, that means all the investors who have lost money have got the trail, and the SEBI is in touch with them to return their monies proportionately, whatever the formula they apply.
So
So
in
the
detail
process
is
is
not
very
mentioned there. I mean,
comprehensive.
how and basis is not mentioned there, but
Absolutely.
it is the fact is that SEBI has asked them to return to the people at large. Now, how it has done, it is not covering in the detail order, but it is the fact that they have gone to the extent to say that to refund this money. It was the fact.
So again, you brought out decently in the subsequent YouTube influencers who has 19 plus lakh subscribers, fined to 9.5 crores, almost 10 crores the penalty levied on these influencers who may be handful, perhaps. In
Yes.
case they are, in case the SEBI extends its arms to the larger extent in eyeing on these people, then it is going to be multiples of 10x in just a
I
month.
I don't know. I don't want to speculate the amount, but the fact is that SEBI is, see the number. Why I am, see, as I said, that I love presenting the numbers, because I genuinely believe that number speaks more than the words and more than the characters. Okay, so the number only suggests that it speaks louder than the action, basically. Like, if you see, so they, it shows the intent also. It shows that how serious the SEBI is when it comes to protect the investors money at large. So
True.
while I am sure the motto is not to earn the money through fines and penalties, that has never been the objective of SEBI, and I can vouch for that. But the point is that yes, you have to. So I keep on giving examples that why in India people generally violate the traffic so frequently, and when they go to outside India they don't, because the kind of the penalty which is there on the, let's say for example, violating signal in Dubai, for example, 10,000 dirham is the penalty, if I am not wrong. Okay, whereas in India the penalty is maybe 1,000 rupees. So people sometimes tend to say कि क्या होगा, पैसा लगेगा ना, ठीक है. But then there are some people who don't want to pay even 100 rupees fine, so they become aware कि okay, नहीं penalty लगेगा, मुझे काम नहीं करना है. So
Right.
SEBI is setting an example to those persons who are careful ki let me go back and check my house if everything is in order or no. That the intent of SEBI is not to levy the penalty. Again, I reiterate the same, not to earn the money through fines and penalties, but to set an example to say that ki how can we set the house right for others to learn from the same.
Absolutely. I just know. I think you are listening to our Mr. Dhan just now. He
Yes,
also brought out how one should be safeguarding themselves with from all these scamsters, phishing websites, and these influencers, whether they are registered from no verifying from the SEBI website,
yes.
etc. Now, after listening to you, it is literally a scary situation for a new investor who is just trying to put his 1 lakh hard-earned money into the market. Like whether the environment is truly so
No, no. So let me no, no. So
vicious.
no, no, no. Let me clarify. So I don't want to make any of the investors, afraid in coming to the market. The market is very safe. If I have to actually again give you some data points to say that how SEBI has over the period. This was the era when SEBI came into action more strictly. Now, last 1 year, if I have to show you the numbers on SEBI side only, the fraud and the unfair means trade practices has in fact come down from 160 to 106. So there has been impact, if you can see.
So
Okay, front running cases has come down from 83 to 44 over the period. Year on year, these numbers are there. price manipulation has come down from 77 to 61. So there it is becoming a very safe place for indeed and investors to come and invest. The investors need not be worried about that. But what I want to tell investors to be skeptical about the same, whether they are doing the right thing. So they have to keep your eyes open. But the market, Indian market is much safer market to come and invest capital market. Through my data, I don't want to make people afraid about things that you should be worried about that. No, please come invest in the market. That is a very safe market. But yes, you have to be careful and caution when it comes to your hard-earned money. You cannot trust anybody saying that, like for example, fake site. There is problem. There is challenge about the fake site. How do you tackle that? There is cases which are coming fake site. Somebody creates a site. Now, how do you know? For example, angel1.in. Somebody will say angel1 space dot space in. Now, this is a fake site. Now, if somebody goes into that and puts the money, people are going to lose the money. But that's only what Jay also said, that go and verify on the registered website of SEBI. You will find the actual URL and you can under. Now, one of the measures what SEBI has also taken, UPI, for example. Now, through UPI, now the fraud was happening because people were displaying the bank account number and putting the money. Now, you don't have to be worried about that. Now, SEBI has said that for small investor, say big investors are anyway, they don't get into this kind of thing generally, I am saying. Now, small investors, ke liye, SEBI has come out with the UPI. Now, UPI limit is increased from 2 lakhs to 5 lakhs today.
Okay.
You can now directly make payment into UPI. UPI is a very, very safe mechanism. So it is all by fair and means, I mean, it is a safe market to come. Let investor come. Be careful, but be careful about what they are doing. That is what I want to pass on the message.
Absolutely. I think this is the narrative which we wanted to set, Manoj. It is after hearing regularly for last 6 days, since 6th to today. We are all hearing about the knowledge. If the investor is attending our programs, he will be loaded with all the stories of how the scams are happening, how the frauds are happening. But we are here today unraveling the real story, bringing to them to mean the investing markets are very highly safe under the regulation of SEBI. And it is when you become careless in your decisions, you are going to see the fate of your money, badly losing the money. So this is where you also said rightly UPI mechanism, which SEBI has just introduced very
Correct.
successfully. All investors are very safe if they strictly follow the guidelines and the regulation of SEBI. And the money is safe. Only the thing is, be careful when you take a decision. This is the narrative which you wanted to present to the investors. I think
Exactly.
it is amazing to hear from you the kind of facts, and one should be from which angle they should be securing their life and the money. I think, Manoj, this is a wonderful presentation during this entire week, which I have seen with loaded figures and facts and no instances which you brought the regulatory actions. So with this background, I really thank you. Thank you very much for educating our investors through this type of programs. And we hope you will spend in future as well the time what you wanted to communicate to our investors very regularly, that will keep engagement on. So this is thank you very much from all ANMI and all the investors, and we keep connecting with you.
Thank you. Thank you once
Thank,
again, Mr. Tony, for
thank
providing
you.
us.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Manoj. Thank you. Bye.
वो पाइप भी था